Here we are on the last episode of Wavemaker, which is on Netflix, and it does have English subtitles. And this is Wavemaker. Wavemaker. Go check it out. After you check it out, but first, listen to this podcast, and then go check it out. Now, we're going to jump into episode 8, right? This is the last episode, so make sure you catch out all the episodes on Lights, Camera, whatever, from 1 to 7, and then listen to this one. If you're listening to this episode and you haven't listened to 1 to 7, I'm crying right now, and I know you can see me crying through my voice. Now, the description says, engulfed. I always love this word, engulfed. Chao Chang-tse works frantically to contain the fallout, summoning her courage. That's another cool word, summoning. Ya-ching decides to take a bold step. Guys, when you say the word bold, you can't just say bold. You have to say bold, right? You have to stretch it a bit. Now, you know what we do. We jump into the psychology of life and love through Taiwanese film and drama. And this is a drama called Wavemaker. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump into these juicy questions. Number 1, if you know your parents are flat out lying to you, would you confront them or it's not worth it? Guys, I say it would depend on the age. And it depends on the context. If they are lying to me and you know they're lying to me and it's not really a very, very serious issue, whatever. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I would be hurt because for me, I'm a person like if you lie to me, what else are you lying about, right? I'm this type of person. Like if you're lying about something small, you definitely lying about something big. That's just me. I don't know. Some people say, oh, let it go. No, if they're lying about something small, trust me, there's something bigger that you need to be concerned about. But the question says if they are flat out lying. Now, guys, for the non-native speakers, when you say flat out lying, you just know in your heart, in your gut, and your down to your bones that they're lying and they're still trying to cover it up. Flat out lying. I would confront them if it was something that we really needed to discuss that was related to our family. I would definitely say, hey, we got to talk. I have evidence that I know you're lying. And now that I have evidence that I know you're lying and you're still lying, you are going to damage our relationship. So please be careful. Don't say anything else. Stop lying, right? You would just, right, talk to them, right? So the thing is that you have to, confront the parents directly. We can't be scared of our parents all the time, especially when we get to a certain age, right? We have to confront them and tell them and say, hey, I know you are lying. I wouldn't ask why. I would just say, I know you're lying, right? I'm not going to ask you why you're lying. I'm just going to tell you to stop. Because if you don't stop, moving forward, it would be very uncomfortable. Now, number 2, I've been waiting to ask this one. If you wanted to escape from it all, where would you go? All my students know me. Everybody knows me. I'm going straight to Brazil. My dad brainwashed me about the Brazilian soccer team. And I'm not talking about right now. I love Neymar, but I will never, ever love anyone more than I love the Ronaldo and Ronaldinho. I used to be obsessed with these two guys. Now, being in love with the soccer team, this very beautiful yellow color, because I grew up in America. America's never really been good at soccer. We've been good at football, American football, basketball, baseball, whatever, and hockey. But we haven't really been that dominant in football. The world calls it soccer. Well, the world calls it football. We call it soccer. It's really stupid about that. And it's really stupid, right? Because America, we're the only country that has miles. Everybody has kilometers. Everybody's Celsius. We're Fahrenheit. It's just, I guess America is just like, okay, we're going to be backwards intentionally. But anyway, not to complain, but to complain. If you wanted to escape from it all, it would be Brazil, right? It would be Brazil for me because, the beaches, the weather, the food. I heard Brazilian people are really, really like passionate and treat you like family. There's certain areas that I would not go. And I know you know what I'm talking about. They call it favelas. I wouldn't go here. I would probably go like a couple times, just, change your clothes and check it out. Just don't wear anything fancy. But definitely I would go to Brazil and go into the jungle, to the beaches and just the life there. I just really want to go. So if you wanted to escape from it all, where would you go? My first and only choice would be Brazil. Second, it would probably have to be in the nature of Japan. Japan has a lot of beautiful nature. I'm very super scared and terrified of these earthquakes. You have no idea. They do have earthquakes in Taiwan too. But Japan, they get it bad. They get these really bad earthquakes. And then they trigger these tsunamis. So I would probably be in some more mountainous area in Japan. And Japan also has like these old abandoned houses that you can buy that are like really, really cheap. You just got to fix up the inside. For the Taiwanese listeners, the word is called renovate. If you renovate the inside and fix it up, it could be yours, right? So these are my two places. It would be Brazil and Japan. 3, if your spouse was running for president but was caught cheating, would you patriotically stay by their side, divorce right away, or divorce after the election? Oh, this is heavy, guys, because, maybe your spouse like really sucks, but it's a good president. Never know, right? Maybe they really, really suck as a partner, but it's a good president. But if my spouse was, if I would, as her partner, right? I would, about her agenda because she's probably going through the list or he's probably going through the list with you in bed at night, every day before he gets out into these political wolves, into this political circus. But if the agenda was really to change my country and for the better of my country, I personally would wait. I would divorce, right? But I wouldn't publicly do it. But I would wait till after the election, maybe a year after the election, to announce it. Okay, you want to take your little, propaganda paparazzi pictures and you want to look like a beautiful family, whatever. We can do that for a year. But I'm going to divorce you under the table. And then after the 1 year, I'm just going to slowly fade away from all the public fame because cheating is cheating. I don't care if you're president or whatever. You cheated. So if my spouse was running for president and she was caught cheating, I would patriotically stay there temporarily, right? I would stay there temporarily. But I would divorce. I would divorce right away. So actually for all of these, it says, would you patriotically stay, divorce right away, or divorce after the election? The reason why I put these 3 is because I would do all of them, right? I would stay there for the country because I think they might benefit the country in a great way. I would divorce right away under the table, right? But I would publicly announce it. And if my spouse, who's the president, who becomes president, doesn't want to publicly announce it, okay, you don't have to announce it, but I'm gone. I'm out. And I can wish you the next 3 years of luck. Do what you do. But there's no point to stay with someone who doesn't love you anymore. And of course, this person is traveling around the world, meeting all type of special, beautiful people. You can't blame them, but you can't blame them, but you can blame them, right? That's why I say also before you start pointing the finger, if someone was cheating, analyze your relationship. That's just my advice. Number 4, if you're trying to take someone powerful down, but they have threatened to expose your nude photos, would you continue attacking or retreat? Guys, I don't care. You can show my pictures, whatever. I might become famous after that if you show my nude pictures. So I'm going to continue attacking. You can't let people back you into a corner, especially just by photos. Now, if they're talking about hacking your bank account and your family's bank account, that's a whole different story. But if they're talking about exposing your nude photos and to make you, silent, please share them, whatever. This world is crazy right now. Things happen so fast right now. Even if my nude photos was exposed, right? People would, in 2 weeks, it would be gone. Because that's how connected we are right now, that even there was a celebrity here in Taiwan who was supposed to be shooting for a film, and he got caught with in Chinese we call it Shao San, and, the earthquake happened, right? And nobody talked about it again. After the earthquake, nobody talked about this news. After the earthquake, there was a new drama that came out. There was things that happened, right? So the world moves so fast. So if you want to expose my nude photos, you go right ahead. But at the same time, don't let me get your photos because I'm going to do the same thing. And I think the solution to take someone powerful down, if you're not scared of people being threatened, is you find someone more powerful than them. Or you make their enemy your friend, right? You be friends, with your enemy's enemy. Very simple. So if someone is trying to take you down, but they're very, very powerful, you just find someone more powerful than them. Now, if you want to expose my photos, you go ahead. But when there's something that you're fighting for and you need to fight for it, please fight for it. Because if you don't fight for it, you will regret it your entire life. Now, we're not going to talk about the guys next door, right? Because the guys next door, they start, bothering your family and everything, and people start disappearing. So that's why I prefer to stay in a democratic society, because we don't want to deal with all that. Now, number 5, should political talk shows on TV or YouTube prove they are not sponsored by a certain party, or citizens have the right to believe in lies? Guys, I have to read that again. Should political talk shows on TV or YouTube prove they are not sponsored by a certain party, or citizens have the right to believe in lies? Guys, some citizens, I have to say, in all the countries around the world, are pretty stupid. They believe anything and everything that comes online and comes on TV. That's just wrong. Now, if it's a government website, a YouTube channel, or a TV station, then there should be some ethical lines that should not be crossed, right? But I think that if we could put the actual sponsors, which will never happen, of who's sponsoring this and why they're mentioning certain things, then that's something that has to be discussed. To say, wait, why do we keep mentioning this certain one brand in a political debate? It doesn't make sense. Now, citizens have the right to believe what they want. You can't force citizens to believe or not believe. I truly believe that. But if there was some type of ethical line to say, hey, by the way, we are sponsored by these following companies, just to let you know, by the way, this will never happen, then things would be a little bit more clear. This would be very clear. And like I said, this will never happen. So, but this is something that we can kind of dream about. So, because some of these, why I said it, because some of these political talk shows are so one-sided and it's just obvious, right? And it kind of hurts your feelings. Like they're just so clear what they're doing. So that's why I say, would the sponsors come out? No, they won't come out. This is a joking question because any government around the world, no matter how democratic or non-democratic, they will not announce who's sponsoring them. But back to the second part of the question, citizens, you have a right to believe what you want. You have a right. You have a right. But yes, you should be trusting in your government. Not that you are, but you should. And when I say we should, it's like we should be trusting. But if it's true or not, that's totally up to you. Number 6, when you go to KTV, what song makes you release your pain? I have to say, I'm a pretty good singer. I don't want to sing for entertainment. I do like to sing. I would have to say Coldplay Yellow. This is definitely number 1 on my list. Coldplay Yellow. And I forgot the other Coldplay song. I'm really sorry about it. And I'm not going to sing right now the song. But Coldplay is definitely one of my favorite groups. And I'm referring to the older Coldplay, not right now. Everything right now, I feel like when they sing songs, it's like a spaceship. But the album, one really good album was a Rush of Blood to the Head, and then the album before that was good. I'm a fan, but I'm not a super fan, so I'm sorry I forgot the name. But there was one album before a Rush of Blood to the Head. Rush of Blood to the Head was a good album too. But there was one album before that, and I fell in love. When I first heard the song, I said, oh, this is one of the most beautiful songs I ever heard. And all my friends, I grew up in the African-American community, so they were looking like, bro, what are you listening to? But I have to thank my sister for that because she introduced me to a lot of music. So back to the question, if I could sing that song, because it's really, if you're a foreigner in Taiwan, I have to apologize. If you go to their Cashbox KTV or the other KTV, the songs are not updated. I have to say sorry before you go. You're going to be singing songs from the 2000s. I'm sorry. I don't know why they don't update it. They should be updating it. But I actually right now don't go to KTV because I know it's the exact same song. I know that. But if I were to go by some magical power and some Blue Genie and Will Smith, I would have to sing Coldplay Yellow. Right? So when you go to the KTV, what song makes you release your pain? And please tell me your song. If you're listening, I want to know your song. I genuinely do. And maybe one day, if I'm your friend or if you're my student one day, we can go to KTV. Now, this is 7. When it comes to a presidential election, will you tell others who you will vote for? If I have a lover or partner, I would tell it, right? I don't need to hide anything from my partner. Now, if it's some associate or peer, that's a whole different conversation, right? I don't have to tell you anything. I don't know you, and I don't owe you anything. So when it comes to a presidential election, I would tell certain people, a very, very small circle. And when I say small, I mean smaller than the dust on your couch right now. And you're probably looking at your couch. Don't look at your couch. So I don't want that hostility, right? And hostility, if you don't know hostility, then you must know the word tension. And if you don't know tension, I'm sorry. I don't want that hostility around me, right? Like, hey, you're going to vote for this person? Why are you going to vote for the red party? Why you don't vote for the blue, and vice versa? I don't want that. This is my political opinion. This is my opinion. So when it comes to a presidential election, will you tell others who you will vote for? Please let me know. This is a very sensitive topic, who you will vote for, because, sometimes people like to rub stuff in your face, right? Say, ha, 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 Trump lost, Biden lost, ha, ha, ha. We call this in English, we say rubbing it in your face. That's what your phrase for today. It's your free English phrase for today. We say, don't rub it in my face, right? For me, I a little bit upset, about my next election. I think a lot of Americans are. A lot of Taiwanese were upset about their election results. I'm not getting political, but I think in every country, everybody's upset. Because right now, like, I'm going to speak from an American's perspective. Our two candidates are old. They're old. And I think in one of my podcasts, I mentioned that, there should be an age limit. There has to be an age limit, guys, because this is a little bit too ridiculous. Biden is, I don't know how to say in English, is stumbling over the sentences. And Trump just started lately stumbling over his words. Now, what to do, like, when it's like a national emergency, and they're like, oh, I want Georgia, New York, what's one of those states up there, and he keeps making all these kind of mumbling sounds, and it's like, oh my God, this guy's not going to make it. He might not even make it to the end of the speech. But that's the funny part, right? That's the funny part. Now, I am joking, but I'm not joking. But I am a little bit worried about the next election. I hope some other candidates come out, because it really sucks when it's only 2. Kind of takes the fun out of it. Now, the last question, it says, would you study abroad in the UK or the US if you had the opportunity? Guys, this is a little bit cheating for me, because I'm actually like American. So studying abroad, I can't study abroad in my country, right? But I could study abroad in the UK. Actually, me studying in okay, guys, a little background check. I studied Chinese at the Fuda Yuan Zhongsen. And I like in Taiwan how they shorten the names, right? Because the official name is, Tianzhu Jiao Furen Dashui, something like that. But in Taiwan, they love shortcuts. So they call it Fuda, which Da is university. So I studied Chinese at the Fuda Yuan Zhongsen. In English, that means the Fujian Catholic University Language Center. These are the best times in my life. So technically for me, that was studying abroad. But for me, is it UK or US? I would have to say UK, because I'm from America. Now, there is one, company here called EDU that could really, really help you get to where you want to go. It's in the US or the UK. It's called the letters EDU. So if you're really trying to get somewhere, you know where to go. It's called EDU. And guys, you got to find the right one, right? Because, you can't go, because let me tell you, some of these counseling programs, they're just stealing your money, right? But like these guys at EDU, they're not playing games. So they got connections in US and UK, and that's all I'm saying. But for me, as a Liverpool fan, right? As a Liverpool fan, I have to say UK. Because I don't know if you know the guy, I love saying his name, and it's easy for me to recommend his name, because in Chinese, the sound is called salad. But he's a Muslim guy. His name is Salah, right? So I always joke with my Taiwanese friends. I say, oh, you got to watch Salad. And they're like, okay, I know what you're talking about. Because there's only one Salah in the Premier League. So people who don't know soccer, okay, guys, a lot of people don't know soccer. Football, sorry. When you see these guys play for their country, they are playing for their country. They're playing like the Olympics and the World Cup. But they have jobs. So they go play for leagues. Now, U.S. has a league. We're not going to talk about that. Messi makes some changes. Europe has a league. Europe has several leagues, sorry. It has the English Premier League. They have the La Liga in Spain. And they have the Bundesliga in Germany. Now, I'm going to give you a couple names, right? Now, I love the Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. My favorite team is Real Madrid in the Spanish league. Now, for the English team, it would have to be Liverpool. And for the Italian Serie A, always for the rest of my life, is Juventus. So when you see these guys, because a lot of time when you say, Ray, like, how come Ronaldo is playing for Portugal but then playing for, like, Saudi Arabia? I'm like, because first of all, one is his country and the other one is his job. So he has to make money. Yes, you get money from the World Cup, but you got to have a salary. Ronaldo doesn't need any more money. Cristiano Ronaldo, not the old Ronaldo. The old Ronaldo that I used to love, he has a gut bigger than a whale right now. He's retired, enjoying his life. He has a huge stomach right now. Don't tell him I said that. I still love him. But they have jobs, right? So if I were to study abroad, I would intentionally go to the UK because I'm a huge Liverpool fan. A lot of my friends know that. So this is episode 8 on the Wave Maker on Netflix. This is Lights, Camera, Whatever. Please leave your comments. Thank you for listening.